for Hand and also a little about Morgan. Coming to receive for Hand are Sean Lynch and Eric Hamill. Jerry, there's a very strong wind tonight. We'll apologize if there's any noise in the microphones standing on top of the press box, but it is like a 30-knot wind coming directly at us on shore.
And that will definitely have an impact on the passing game tonight, Ken.
Kickoff is picked up at about the 2-yard line by Sean Lynch, and he's trying to bring it back across the 10 to about the 12. So deep kick and did not go into the end zone.
And that was very good coverage by the Clinton defense. It backs up Hand's offense, and Hand's offense excuse me, is going to have a totally different look tonight because, as we mentioned earlier, there are a couple of key players out. We can see number 8, Scott Hevesy, coming out at quarterback, and with this win, that's really going to take some edge off of the passing game tonight.
And comes out of split backfield, Mike Burrell and Chris Dorez in the backfield. Hevesy hands off to Dorez, who takes it across the 15 to about the 16-yard line.
Again, Clinton's defense has a lot of men up front. They run a 5-3 defense, and what they'll do is they'll give you the pass, but it's a very good defense against the run. And tonight, with an inexperienced quarterback and with all this wind, and also with a Scott Gumkowski out tonight, Hand's got their work cut out for him.
So Gumkowski hands off in the backfield to Dorez, who is hit hard as the line of scrimmage, carries it forward for about 2-yard gain up to the 18. Third down, about 5 for Hand coming up. Jerry, I noticed that number 7, Matt Gentile, was in the game for that play. He's coming off now, but he was playing a wide receiver position. His rotator cuff injury does not allow him to throw the ball, but he does appear to be able to play. In motion to the left. There's a pass to the left, complete pass to Lawler. And a first down, the ball is loose on the ground, and it looks like it's covered by Hand. Sean Lynch comes in and recovers the fumble. A first down pass complete from Scott Hevesy to Peter Lawler, who fumbled and recovered by Sean Lynch.
That's a big first down, a big break for Hand. I think what that's going to do, Ken, is it's going to give Scott Hevesy a real good emotional feeling about this game. What you want with a young quarterback, an experienced quarterback, is to get him going early.
So Hevesy hands off to Burrell, swinging to the right behind the right tackle, and no gain. Bennett near the line of scrimmage. On that play, Jerry, Sean Lynch split wide to the right, and Matt Gentile in the slot right.
One of the problems is with Scott Hevesy out of the offensive formation as an end, what they've got to do is make up that difference.
Eric Hamill in the backfield tailback, and the ball is snap is fumbled and covered by Hevesy.
I wouldn't expect with Matt Gentile's shoulder injury that he's real capable of making receptions, so I think he's more of a decoy kid.
Scott Hevesy did not handle the snap from center cleanly from his brother Tim, but gained about 2 feet.
And you know that'll happen because Scott has not been working a lot with the center.
Scott Hevesy looking to throw, he's being pressured, complete pass, across the middle, first down. Across the 40 to about the 43 to Tim Cunningham, number 24.
You know, that was an excellent catch, Ken, because he was in a lot of traffic. There were 2-3 receivers right around him, and he kept his concentration, kept his eye on the ball, and pulled it in. Excellent pass by Scott, and excellent reception by Tim.
Number 34 into the game is Mike Udacek for this play, and he's lined up in the slot right. High formation pitch to Eric Hamill, who breaks to the right side, gets some room. Pushed out of bounds at about an 8-9 yard gain.
That was a super job by Eric Hamill. He's only a sophomore, I believe, Ken. He's an excellent back. He just doesn't have a lot of experience, and he hasn't been hit by a lot of varsity players yet. So his big test tonight is going to be to see if he can take a couple of shots from some of these tough Clinton defenders tonight.
A gain of 9 yards. Second and a short one. Hamill in a tailback. Chris Dorez at fullback. Hand off to Dorez. First down. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another one. Still going down to the 34.
Now that's fun. That's fun watching him run over those people like that.
Chris Dorez ran over about 4 of them until he got there.
First down. We've talked about Chris Chris all season. He hits the hole so fast. He's got excellent balance, and he's got some tremendous acceleration and power. He just runs right over people.
First down for Hand is placed at about the 33. Hand off to the second man, Burrell, and he's stacked up. No gain.
Now, that wasn't Pete Burrell's fault. There was about 2 or 3 defensive linemen that were able to make some penetration, and there just was no hole there that time, Ken.
Mike Richards out of the game. Tim Cunningham in. Tim Hevesy in at center. The guards are 56 and 58. That's Andy Drennan and Rob DeZima. We'll get the rest of the linemen as they play another play or two. Mike Burrell this time gains down to the 30. Gain of about 3.
Inside the 30.
At the tackles are Joel Donnelly, number 68. Number 72 is Rob Mason on the near side.
Kent, that play was a lead play where the fullback leads the play and the tailback breaks off his block. That time there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed up pretty fast.
Mike Richards is the other one on the line at tight end, and he's primarily a blocking position. Eric Hamill has got an opening, heading for the end zone. Inside the 10, inside the 5. He didn't make the end zone, but a first down goal to go at about the 2.
Geez, what a super showing by this young sophomore who really hasn't seen a lot of time in the backfield this year. Young guy, very capable runner, and that time he broke one, had nice vision, made a cut inside, cut back outside, and now it's first and goal from the 2.
Here's this power eye to the right where Hand runs it with power right over right tackle, and here they go. And Mike Burrell takes it in the end zone. The ball is fumbled, but he gets in the end zone. Touchdown Hand. 6-0.
Well, Kent, when you have 4 potential all-state players on your sideline, that's one way to start off a good solid night. Drive the ball right down the field. They had a combination of running, combination of passing, nice balanced offense, touchdown.
So in the backfield that time were Chris Torres and Greg DeConcilius in blocking positions. Mike Burrell took it in the end zone to try for the extra point. John Lynch kicks it up, kicks it good. 7-0. Daniel Hand leading with 6:59 left, first quarter. So on Daniel Hand's first possession, they took over deep in their own territory. Jerry, if I recall correctly, they were at about the 12 or 13 yard line, marched it all the way down the field. A couple of good passes, a couple of good runs, and Mike Burrell puts it in the end zone. You wanted to say something about Morgan's team at this point, didn't you, Jerry?
Yeah, super job by Hand's offense. What we're going to see from Clinton's running a run and shoot offense, Kent. They're going to have a lone setback. They're going to try to spread out the defense with receivers to the left and to the right.
So the kickoff by Sean Lynch is picked up at the 15, and the man has got broken to the outside, and Lynch is going to throw him out of bounds, clear down to the 34-yard line. So a good return by Morgan.
Back to Clinton's offense, Ken. Clinton has a lot of weapons this year. They're a much improved team. They've changed their offensive format from a power eye to run and shoot. Rodriguez, who has been a starter for 4 years, is their best back. He sees the bulk of the ball carrying. Their quarterback is an excellent quarterback. He's very mobile. He throws the ball a lot. They like to throw the ball about 50% of the time. And they're going to spread out the defense, and they're going to try to use their weapons to pick and choose what they do tonight.
So a pitch to the left by Morgan, and the man turns the corner. He's tackled over here by a shoestring tackle by Peter Lawler. He was going to make a lot of yardage. Gain about 5.
You know, that was excellent penetration by Chris Holt. He didn't make the play, but what he did is he forced Rodriguez deep, which allowed the defense some time to get some better defensive coverage on the corner.
Second down and almost 6 from the 30-yard line for Morgan. And Morgan hands it off to the first man through. Got a good gain. He's about to be a yard or two short of a first down. In the defensive line for Hand, I'll get some of those numbers as soon as I can pick them out. 68, Joel Donnelly. 72 is Rob Mason. 76 is Mike Anderson. Third down and about 1.5. Morgan looking to throw, and it's thrown across the middle, and incomplete pass. That was dangerous because the hand man had the best shot at catching it. He hit the ground first. Peter Lawler right on the coverage.
And I'll tell you why that pass was thrown so poorly. Chris Holt was right in his face, Kent. Good pressure by Chris Holt, which forced the quarterback to throw it prematurely.
So that brings up 4th down for Morgan with about 1.5 probably to go. Just outside the 25-yard line. They will go for it on 4th down. Men split wide to the left. 3 men in the backfield, and they're going to power over right guard. 1st down for Morgan inside the 20. Chris Holt in on the tackle, and Matt Gentile in on the tackle.
Well, there was nothing fancy about that, Kent. One of the things that Clinton is doing differently offensively is they're spreading the defense out, and the run and shoot is a very explosive offense. That time it was just a hand-high football, power right to the right, and they just ran between the guard and tackle, opened up a good hole, and the back was able to run through that hole for a 1st down.
Morgan has a 1st down at the 18-yard line, and Morgan takes the first timeout of this game with 5:17 remaining, 1st quarter. 1st down for Morgan as they take the first time out of this game. Hand is leading 7-0 with a little over 5 minutes left in the 1st quarter, and they're inside the 20 now. Flag is thrown in Morgan's backfield before the play is started, so that will probably go against Morgan. Procedure call against Morgan. We'll push it back. Bring up 1st and 15. Playing the corners for Hand are Udacek and Cunningham. Morgan looking to throw. Man rolling right, looking to throw long. He's aiming for the end zone, and it's going to be overthrown in the end zone. Hand with 3 defenders back there. Number 32, Ryan Dorez, was the man right in front of the receiver. Not much chance of completing that one.
There really wasn't, and there really wasn't a chance of him completing to any of his receivers. That was excellent defense by Hand. I believe they were in a man-to-man that time, normally playing a zone, and they were just covered like a blanket. Excellent coverage by the defensive secondary.
2nd and 15. Morgan has trips to the right. 3 receivers on the right side of the field, 1 to the left. And the quarterback is looking to throw to the right. Incomplete pass in and out of the hands of the receiver.
And that receiver
by Chris Dorez.
And that receiver, Kent, was Rodriguez. They have 3 excellent receivers. One of their excellent receivers also happens to be the star running back, which is Carlos Rodriguez, coming out of the backfield. And when you have trips to the right, and you also have a back coming out of the backfield, you're totally overloading that side of the defense. Very, very difficult to defend against that.
So 3rd and 15 coming up just inside the 25-yard line for Morgan. Quarterback looking to throw again, straight back this time. Throwing high into the end zone and knocked down in the end zone. Incomplete pass. Coverage by Ryan Dorez, who got a hand on it.
Geez, that was a great job by Ryan. He had nice coverage. The man was behind him, but he made a nice break at the last minute, was able to knock the ball out, because if he didn't, that was a touchdown.
Jerry, I don't know if you noticed that time, but the offensive man for Morgan pushed off a little bit on Ryan Dorez just before the ball got there and created a little bit of space, but Dorez came back and still got a hand on it. That brings up 4th down and 15 for Morgan. They need long yardage here, or Hand gets the ball back. Looking to throw again, straight back. They're trying to set up a screen, and he's hit just as he throws, and it's dropped in the end zone. Incomplete pass, and that could have gone for a touchdown.
That's exactly right. All he had to do was hold on to the ball, and that was a touchdown. And what we're seeing, Kent, we said at the onset that Clinton will pass the ball half the time. So far, we've seen 50% pass plays and 50% running plays. But one of the real keys for this Clinton offense is they will throw the ball away. They average 2 to 3 interceptions a game, and what Hand has got to do is get a turnover, get that quarterback rattled a little bit, have him throw it away, and turn that ball over by interception.
Daniel Hand gets the
What they did that time, Ken, is they were faking a pitch, and it was a dive to the fullback, but the linebacker was staying right at home. He wasn't moving at all with the fake.
Scott Hevesy looking to throw across the middle, complete pass to Peter Lawler up near the 40, first down plus 5 yards.
You know, it was a great job by Peter Lawler because his back was to the defender. He knew he was going to take a shot. He knew he was going to take a hit. And he hung right in there, had concentration on the ball, took that ball in before he took the pop. Excellent job holding on to the ball by Peter Lawler.
First down for Hand at the 39. Sean Lynch split to the left. Matt Gentile motion left, and a flag is thrown before the play starts. That will probably be a procedure call against Hand. 5 yards against Hand. Bring up first and 15. The 35. And another procedure call. 2 linemen left early on that one.
Yeah, I didn't see that previous procedure call, Kent. I thought it might have been illegal motion, but that time it was very obvious that 2 offensive linemen were offsides.
Plus 3 referees saw it. There are 3 hankies lying on the field out there. So that's going to bring up first down and 20 for Hand.
I could use one of those hankies. I got a runny nose right now. Probably asking to pass one of those yellow suckers up here.
Sean Lynch way to the left. And Gentile motion left again. And Eric Hamill carries the ball. He's got a little opening on the left side. He's going to gain back quite a bit of that yardage. And he gains back about 18 of that 20 yards they needed.
What an excellent job by Eric Hamill, the sophomore. One of the things that opened that play up is the linebackers weren't in the flow. They were staying at home. Looked like they had a stunt on inside, and it took two linebackers out of the play, so there was no one on the corner.
So Eric Hamill gains a little over 17 yards to bring up second down and a short 3 for Hand. Udacek in motion, hand off to Hamill, and he's hit in the backfield for a yard loss. Good defensive play by Morgan that time. No place to go.
Next third down play can keep this drive alive because if they don't get the first down, I would expect that they would punt away.
Greg DeConcilius in at fullback. Scott Hevesy rolling right, looking to throw. Complete pass on the near side. And Peter Lawler has the ball out of bounds, but he has a first down at the 45. Stepped out of bounds at the 45, but that gave him a first down.
Well, I'll tell you, Scott Hevesy is right on target, Ken, and the receivers are getting open.
We might say we had mentioned in a game or two ago that Matt Gentile was a good athlete, plays basketball, plays baseball. So does Scott Hevesy. He's an excellent baseball player, including being a pitcher, plus a guard on the basketball team, so he's a good athlete. First down for Hand at the 45. Pitch this time to the right side. Eric Hamill breaks the tackle. Gains about 3 or 4.
And again, if you look at that Clinton defensive formation, they've got 5 men on the line of scrimmage with 3 linebackers, and that's leaving an opening in your secondary. They're playing a zone at a man-to-man, but it leaves an opening in your secondary, and it allows you to be able to get some men open and complete those passes.
4-yard gain, 2nd and 6, just outside the 40-yard line. Hand off this time to Chris Dorez, who breaks a tackle, breaks another one. First down inside the 35, at the 33.
And you know, Ken, with this defense allowing a passing game, if they can start running on this defense, it's just going to open up that passing game even that much more so.
Number 90 is Mike Richards at tight end. 2 men on the left side, the receivers. Mike Burrell goes into the line to the 30. Gains about 3 yards. backfield this time. Two receivers to the left. Hevesy hands off to Chris Torres, who's met right at the line of scrimmage. Gain a yard at most. So no gain. They're going to put it right back where it was. Third down and 6. Tim Cunningham in the slot to the left, and Lawler on the left wing, and pitch to Hamill, the left side, cuts back, got room to go. He's going inside the 15, about the 13, first down. And blocking ahead of him was Sean Lynch, who gave him a little room to go.
That was an excellent cutback by Eric Hamill. You know, a lot of your big gainers are when your backs cut across the grain because your defensive flow and pursuit is going in one direction, and when you cut across the grain, you're cutting away from that defensive flow and that defensive pursuit. Excellent, excellent cutback by Eric Hamill to pick up that first down.
That's the last play of the first quarter. That play, I noticed before the play got off, both Lawler and Cunningham were lined up to the left, and they both did a good job of blocking so that Hamill could cut back from it. Score is 7-0, and leading Morgan after the first quarter. As we begin quarter number 2, Jerry Hand has sort of dominated the first quarter of this game.
Yeah, it's ball control offense. Frank Tardoff has been keeping track of some of the stats in the first quarter. Hand had 22 plays to Morgan's 8 plays. Scott Hevesy is 4 for 4 in the air, and Clinton is 0 for 4 in the air.
And Hand is trying to take it down. Eric Hamill goes to the right, no place to run, lost a couple of yards. That's going to bring up third and long. Excuse me, that was a first down play, so that'll bring up second and about 12.
And the nice thing about Hand's offense in the first quarter is it was very, very well balanced between the run and the pass, Kent.
Throws a flag before they get to the line of scrimmage.
I don't know what the heck that's for.
It's against Hand. Somebody lined up at the line of scrimmage too far forward, I guess. They called that pretty quick. They didn't have time to even get in set position.
So, must have been the wind that blew him forward, Kent. Blowing about 35 miles an hour, isn't it?
At least. Second down and 17 yards to go at about the 20. Hevesy rolling to the left, looking to throw. Now he pulls it down, and he's going to make a couple of yards. Gets back to the 20, but that's all.
I think that was a very smart move by Scott Hevesy. His receivers were covered, and the one thing you don't want to do when you get down into the red zone, which is inside the 20-yard line, is give up the ball. You don't want to throw an interception, and a lot of inexperienced quarterbacks will throw the ball away.
So third and 16. This time split wide to the right is McGrath, Peter McGrath. Scott Hevesy straight back, looking to throw to the far side. McGrath falls down. Incomplete pass. Peter McGrath made his cut and slipped. So that's an incomplete pass. Will bring up fourth down and long for Hand at about the 19.
Yeah, that's too bad he lost his footing because he was wide open. He was driving the defensive corner deep, and the defensive corner was giving him a lot of cushion. So as soon as he cut, he would have been open, and that would have been a first down, Ken.
Hand needs to get clear to the 3-yard line on this fourth down play, or they give it back to Morgan. Hevesy rolling back, looking to throw, and he's open.
Touchdown!
Touchdown, Hand. Tim Cunningham. Scott Hevesy to Tim Cunningham.
What a great offensive play. Super offensive play. It was a play-action pass, and he threw back to the opposite side of the field, to the left side of the field, and Cunningham coming across was wide open.
So Daniel Hand stretches their lead to 13-0 with a conversion try coming, with 10:24 showing on the clock, second quarter.
What a great job by the offensive team, and Scott Hevesy. Super start for Scott, filling in for Matt.
Conversion try by Sean Lynch. He kicks it up. Kicks it good. Daniel Hand, 14-0 against Morgan.
You know, I might add, Kent, before before the game started, most all the team members were giving Scott Hevesy a lot of encouragement. And you know the guy that was giving him the most encouragement was his replacement, Matt Gentile, who's a true team leader and team player, was giving Scott a tremendous amount of encouragement.
So they made it on 4th down and about 16 yards to go and scored a touchdown on it. Extend the lead.
That's what they call a pressure play, Ken. That's a little pressure play.
I don't know how Tim Cunningham got quite that wide open, but he didn't have a man very close to him when he caught the ball, and Hevesy laid it right in between the numbers. After Daniel Hand's second touchdown, Sean Lynch has the ball teed up at the 40 to kick off back to Morgan. And Sean hits a low one, and it's fumbled and picked up at about the 19-yard line, swinging to the left. And Morgan's got a good return going and tackled about the 30-yard line over on the far side. And that's Scott Hevesy in on the tackle.
Well, this is Clinton's second offensive series or third offensive series? Must be their third offensive series, Ken.
I can't recall.
And in both cases, they started off in excellent field position. This time, they're backed up a little bit further. So this gives Hand a little bit better opportunity defensively to give it a little juice.
So the ball is about the 29 with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. One man in the backfield for Morgan, and they're looking long, and incomplete pass, overthrown. The coverage down there is by Ryan Dorez, and Matt Gentile dropping back, Chris Dorez dropping back, Peter Lawler back.
That was very fortunate because at the last minute, I believe Ryan stumbled a little bit, and that receiver was able to get open, but the ball was a little bit overthrown.
So I noticed that Morgan in their passing game, they go for the long ones. 2nd and 10 for Morgan, swinging to the near side of the field, the right side, and Lawler is up to meet the play and makes a tackle to 30. Good play by Peter Lawler. He fought off a couple of blocks.
And you know what? That was excellent pursuit by about half the Hand defense. What you want to see is you want to see gang tackling, and that time it wasn't just one man on the ball carrier. They had about 5 or 6, Ken.
So 1-yard gain for Morgan. That's the old student body right. They had a lot of blockers in front of it, but Hand strung it out.
It almost looked like he wanted to throw the ball, Ken. It almost looked like it was going to be a halfback option pass.
Here's 2 receivers each side of the field, so Morgan's looking to throw again, throwing down the middle, and it's complete pass. And the man is tackled, shoestring tackle by Peter Lawler at about the 34.
And I believe that's the first completion of the night. They've probably thrown about 8 or 9 passes, and that's their first completion.
So a good long pass play by Morgan. First down at about the 33. I see Scott Hevesy is playing the deep safety position. Swing to the right by Morgan, and man's got the corner. Pretty good gain.
There's a flag down, Ken.
Run out of bounds by Ryan Dorez and Scott Hevesy.
There's a flag on the play, and that's going to be offensive holding.
Holding against Morgan. That play will come back.
You know, one thing that's dangerous having Scott Hevesy as your free safety is with him being your backup quarterback as your starting quarterback tonight. If he gets injured, who fills in for him?
I understand that young Mark Gumkowski would be the backup quarterback to Scott Hevesy should they need him. But that was about an 8 or 9 yard gain by Morgan, which is nullified by the penalty.
Well, Scott's going to stay healthy tonight.
He's got a good night going so far. First down and 20 for Morgan at the 43. Morgan, 3 receivers to the far side of the field, and they're going to throw to the left, and it's knocked down by Cunningham. Tim Cunningham got a hand on it, cutting in front of the receiver. If he had caught that ball, Jerry, Cunningham would still be running the other way for Hand.
That's a good point. But he made a nice break on the ball, and Matt Gentile is back in at safety, and he was giving a lot of cushion, so there wasn't anybody open deep.
2nd and 20 for Morgan. And he's being rushed this time by Tom Malik, is in on the quarterback and makes him throw a little bit early, incomplete pass.
And you know what? I think Cam was in a zone defense, and that time the break on the ball was just underneath the secondary, right in the seam in that zone, and he was wide open, Kent.
So Tom Malik, linebacker, was blitzing the quarterback, made him throw just a little bit early. I might add that Malik was one of the heroes of last week's game who helped them stop Jonathan Law near the goal line. Another pass down the middle, an incomplete pass. That one's well overthrown. That will bring up 4th and long for Morgan.
I'll tell you, if he starts throwing the ball like that in the second quarter as well as the third and fourth quarter, that ball is going to be picked off because that ball was just thrown to no one.
So Morgan with primarily a passing game, but he's only completed 1 or 2 in the whole game. 4th and long for Morgan. First punt of the game coming up, or at least apparently a punt.
You know, with all these incomplete passes, we're going to be up there in the wind for quite some time, Kent. This doesn't take any time off the clock.
Well, and it's a fake punt, and the man is running it right now. He's going to throw long. Got man down there, complete pass, thrown out of bounds.
And that was the quarterback, Kent.
And Chris Dorez finally runs the man out of bounds, but it's a complete pass, first down for Morgan. Goal to go at about the 9, it looks like.
That quarterback is 6'5" and is a very, very big target.
So that was a fake punt and an excellent long play by Morgan.
Yeah, did you see who threw the ball that time? Was that number 9?
It was the punter. I don't recall the number. First and goal, just inside the 10. Morgan this time is running their own power I to the right. We'll see if they slant it off a right tackle the way Hand runs this play. Yes, they are. Not much there. Man cuts it back and is tackled by Chris Holt. Hit him right at the 10, fell forward at about the 9. Gained maybe a yard.
And Chris Dorez was also in on the play. That was very, very good defense on the left defensive side for Hand. If they can toughen up and have a defense like that, it's going to be pretty difficult for Clinton to punch it in.
And Morgan comes out in their power I again. Power I strong to the right. And the ball is dropped by the quarterback. Looks like the quarterback covered it at about the 11. Tim Cunningham right on top of him. Timeout for Morgan. That's their second timeout of the half with 7:25 to go. Have had a -1 yard net so far, Jerry. 3rd down and goal at about the 11. And quarterback looking to throw. Laid out to the left side and knocked down by Tim Cunningham. Incomplete pass brings up 4th down.
Well, you know, last week one of the things that saved the win for Hand was their defensive goal line stance in the waning minutes of the fourth quarter, and that really shows a lot of character for defense when they can get backed up in their own goal line inside the 10-yard line and hold for 4 plays.
Tim Cunningham is going to get one of those pretty soon, Terry. He's come very close to intercepting a couple of passes. So 4th down for Morgan, just outside the 10. Quarterback rolling left, looking to throw. He's being pressured down, and that ball is knocked down That's Tim Cunningham that knocks it down, and there are about 3 other Hand players near the receivers, so Hand gets the ball back at the 11.
Excellent defensive coverage. They overloaded that part of the zone. There were 3 defenders right there, knocked the ball down, and that's even better than an interception down there because Hand would have been first and 10 from about the 1-yard line. Now that they've got a little bit more breathing space with the ball being knocked down versus an interception.
Daniel Hand gets the ball back with 7:13 left before halftime, leading 14-0. And off this time to Chris Torres, and the pile goes backwards as Chris Torres pushes 2 men backwards for about a 5-yard gain.
Nothing fancy about that. All that was a quick hitter off the left side, and what you saw was this little black mole moving with about 5 white jerseys on top of him, and the guy coming out from underneath was Chris Torres.
And he gained 6 yards. The quarterback pitches this time to the left side to Mike Burrell, who swings left, and he's got a first down across the 20.
Yeah, that was a great job by Burrell. It was a toss, and he went outside. But what was good about that is he ran north and south, meaning he ran up the field. If he kept going to the side, he wouldn't have gained yardage. He gained yardage running north and south, and that time he cut up and picked up the first down. Good job by Mike Burrell.
He ran behind the blocking of tight end Mike Richards that time to turn the corner and get the first down. And up to Hamill. Hamill crosses the 25 to the 26.
What that looked like, Kent, was a counter where they had flow from Chris Torres going to the right with Eric Hamill coming back to the left. And what that's designed to do is to pull your linebackers to one side, to the opposite side of the defense to give you a hole.
And he gained 4 yards on it on first down. 2nd and 6. And off this time to Torres, who files into 1 man at the 30 and goes across the 30 to about the 31. It's going to be about 2 yards short of a first down. 3rd and 2 coming up.
And he was tackled by Clinton Star running back Carlos Rodriguez. So here's a couple of excellent backs that just said hello to each other, Kent.
3rd and 2 coming up for Hand. The ball is at the 31. And off this time to Torres, and he's going to be stopped short, it looks like. He's going to be very close to a first down. They didn't give him much forward progress, so that'll probably bring up 4th.
And I'm sure with 5 minutes left, deep in their own territory, they're going to put this ball away, Kent.
The strong wind is coming directly at us off of the water. So it's a crosswind for the kicker.
Now, Sean Lynch has been averaging about 40 yards a punt, Kent.
Look at Morgan's got 3 men to the right looking to go block the kick, and a man comes in on him, but he gets it out. A high kick, and it's going to hit and bounce at about the 35-yard line.
Doesn't really take much of a bounce either way. It just kind of went laterally.
Mike Burrell right on that ball. You notice that Burrell covers most of the kicks. He seems to get down there by the time the ball hits the ground.
Well, he's a member of the Suicide Squad. He likes getting his nose in front of the ball. He enjoys playing football.
Morgan takes over at the 35-yard line with 4.5 minutes left before halftime. Hand continuing to lead 14-0.
And that's about a 35-yard punt in this win. That's a pretty good punt, Ken.
So Morgan hands off, swinging to the left side, and Cunningham is not able to make that tackle, but somebody did over there.
What a super job by Peter Lawler coming up from his cornerback position. And also Cunningham was able to make some penetration. Didn't make the hit, but he wasn't hooked inside. He made some penetration and forced Rodriguez deep, which allowed Lawler to come up and make the stop.
Cunningham forced that running play a little bit deeper than it would have gone normally, and Lawler made the tackle. Gain of a little over a yard. And off to the tailback this time, swinging to the left side, and he breaks the tackle and makes a pretty good gain. It's going to be a yard short of a first down.
You know, that was excellent running by Rodriguez. There really wasn't anything there, and he was able to make a couple of cuts and turn something from nothing.
Tim Hevesy in the defensive line, Chris Holt out. The linebackers now are Chris Dorez and Drennan, I believe, 56 is the other one. It's handed off right up the middle, and a good gain by Morgan. First down to the 45.
And that looked like the old Clinton team. That was a I formation where they ran the ball right up the chute. And that time they were able to open up a hole and get a first down.
So Andy Drennan and Chris Dorez and the inside linebackers, Mike Udacek and Tim Cunningham on the corners. Morgan looking to throw to the left, and it's thrown to the left, and
Interception by Cunningham.
They're going to give it to him.
Well, they averaged 2 to 3 turnovers in the year, and that time Cunningham was able to make the break on the ball. Excellent interception by Cunningham.
The referee did not signal the play right away. I think he had his back to it, and he waited for the inside referee to assure that it didn't hit the ground first. But Tim Cunningham, a diving catch, the interception.
Well, all he had to do was ask us, Ken. We would have told him the truth.
You got the good eyes.
We're very objective and honest.
You've got the good eyes from 50 yards away here, sir. And gets the ball back with 2:25 left in the first half of this game. Hevesy looking to throw to the left side. Incomplete pass, thrown out of bounds, looking for Peter Lawler.
You know, with that wind, and I bet it's gusting up to a good 30 knots, Kent, that wind took that ball and forced it out of bounds. If the ball was on the money, there was very, very tight coverage there on Peter Lawler. I have a feeling that that ball could have been picked off.
Greg DeConcilius into the game. At the blocking position, Eric Hamill at tailback. Pitch this time to Hamill to the left side, and now he makes a cut back. And a good gain. He's right in midfield. He's going to be about 2 yards short of a first down.
Yeah, it was a toss left, Ken, and it was excellent blocking on that side of the line, led by Joel Donnelly. And a good job by the young Eric Hamill, cutting back again.
He makes good, sharp cuts.
He's got nice vision for open field.
Third down and about 2. Hand up this time to Greg DeConcilius. He's got the first down, plus another one. Takes it to about the 47.
And that's a big first down, Kent, because with 1:45, if Hand doesn't score, it certainly keeps the ball away from Clinton and preserves a 2-touchdown lead. But it would be nice to go in with a third touchdown.
So Daniel Hand with a first down. Scott Hevesy rolling left, looking to throw. Got a man over here. Complete. Sean Lynch. Complete pass to the 40, out of bounds. He's about 4 yards short of a first down.
And you know, with 1:27 seconds left on the clock, the real key to that play was his ability to get out of bounds. If he didn't get out of bounds, they would have lost a couple of potential plays.
6-yard gain on first down. Sean Lynch split wide to the right. Matt Gentile slot right. Scott Hevesy over center. And Hevesy looking to throw, and the ball slips away from Hevesy. Flag is thrown. That ball just came out of his hand as he started to throw, I believe, and there's a flag down.
There is a flag on the play.
Looks like they're talking to Clinton, Kent. I think that was offensive holding against Hand.
They may decline this because it was a pretty good-sized loss.
That would also bring up a third down.
No, they're going to take the penalty. Offensive holding against Hand.
Holding penalty against Hand. It's a spot penalty. And it's penalized 10 yards back to the...
Well, that brings up a whole bunch for a first down, Kent. You got second down in about half the field.
A long ways. Looks like about 25 yards anyway. Hevesy brings them out, and they're going to keep it on the ground. Hamill swinging left, turns the corner, out of bounds. He gains about 8 or 9 yards, but they had a lot to get.
you know, they're picking up yardage against this 8-man front. It's very, very difficult to run when you have 8 men between your ends.
Third down and about 18 for Hand. Ball at the 46. And they're going to keep it on the ground. Mike Burrell runs to the right, gains a yard, and that's all. And the clock continues to run. That's a timeout, and by my count, Jerry, that's the third timeout for Morgan. So with 1:02 left before halftime, and I don't believe they can stop it again. Fourth down for Daniel Hand, Sean Lynch in punt formation. Morgan sends 2 men deep to receive.
And they've got everybody else up front, Kent.
And Sean Lynch gets it out of there, and a good kick over the Hand's head. It's going to roll dead. Right at the goal line. It makes the goal line. Sean Lynch puts it clear to the goal line there, and it's almost blocked.
Well, that was nice hustle getting down there. They were almost able to down the ball at about the 1 foot yard line, but he carried the ball into the end zone. A nice hustle, but by carrying the ball in the end zone, brings it back out to the 20.
So Morgan has 51 seconds before the first half expires, and 80 yards to go. Morgan looking to throw to the left side, and it's incomplete, in and out of the hands of the receiver, and 2 men covering over there, Cunningham and Gentile. That was dangerous.
And what they're doing, Kent, they had trips to the left, and what they want to do is use those 3 men to draw the defense deep, and then they throw the ball on a swing to Carlos Rodriguez.
Morgan looking to throw again, looking right down the middle, and it's thrown across the middle and knocked down in and out of the hands of one of the defenders. That was 56, Andy Drennan, who is playing at the linebacker position now, who almost picked that one off. Third down and 10 for Morgan. 41 seconds left on the clock. This time Morgan has 3 men to the right, 1 to the left, and nobody behind the quarterback. Quarterback looking to throw long, and Cunningham's over there, and incomplete pass, and Cunningham had the best chance to catch it.
Yes, he did. It was excellent, excellent coverage. You had 5 men going down the field that time offensively for Clinton. Very, very good coverage for a very deep, loaded zone.
That brings up an interesting play here. We got 34 seconds left. 4th down and 10 for Morgan at the 20. Hamill and Ryan Dorez are standing at the 50-yard line.
I'll tell you, with only 34 seconds left, Kent, with the ball on the 20-yard line, I'd go after the ball. How about you? What would you do? Go after the ball?
Sounds good to me.
Let's go after that sucker.
So Hand's got 2 men back, and the other 9 men up near the line of scrimmage, and everybody's coming. He gets it out. Good kick. An excellent kick. It floats and hits at about the 38 and rolls down to about the 32. So Daniel Hand takes over. 22 seconds left in the half. That was a 48-yard kick, Jerry. On this kind of a windy night, that's a pretty good kick. And the handoff is to Chris Dorez. Swinging to left, gets to the 35, and that should run out the half. We're down to 1 second.
Injured. Yes, you're right. Malik, who's been doing a super job as a sophomore linebacker, is on crutches on the sideline. So that's adding even more insult to the injury from the injury.
Tremendous kick. Gets it high, and it's picked up to the 2-yard line by Morgan and brought back to the 15. Excellent defensive coverage, and what that's going to do is pin back Clinton.
Ken, while we have a quick minute, Frank Tierdorf was keeping some statistics. In the first half, Morgan had 28 plays to Hand's 40 plays. Hevesy threw 9 passes for 6 completions, and Hesford for Clinton had 15 passes with only 1 completion and 1 interception.
Daniel Hand did dominate that first half, but the inside linebacker is out of the game. He's been replaced by Andy Drennan, 56. So we got a little bit different defense. defensive lineup for Hand.
Now, also statistically on the ground for Clinton, they had about 8 carries. Rodriguez 25 yards, and then there was only 17 yards divided between the quarterback. But Hand had over 100 yards with sophomore Hamill rushing 10 times for 84 yards.
By Ryan Torres. And the first down.
You know, Carlos Rodriguez is their money back, and he's the guy that's really going to get in the yards for him tonight.
First down on that play. Ball up to the 26. Play gets going, and I saw a Morgan man move early, Jerry.
And that's, you're right, that's a procedure penalty. What's going to happen is they'll put him back 5 yards, and they'll be back to their 20-yard line again. It'll be 1st and 15.
We apologize for the extra noise, the wind whistle, but we're standing atop the press box at Strong Field facing a gale blowing off of Long Island Sound, so we will have some wind noise in our microphones. He's got one man to beat, and the man is going to go all the way for a touchdown for Morgan, and Hand cannot stop the play.
Oh, that was a good call, Kent. Remember at the outset we said that this team was a 50% passing team, and what you do when you're a passing team is you run and draw. They have a tremendous back, Rodriguez, who's been a starter for 4 years, ever since he was a freshman. He was able to get a little hole opened up, and was able to pop one to the outside, and he's got tremendous speed. With his speed, there was just no catching him running down the sideline.
That brings the score to 14-6. Coming for Morgan, about a 75-yard run.
And did a great job in the first half. 25 yards. That time he had about a 75-yard run.
Morgan going for a 2-point conversion. And the quarterback rolling right, looking to throw, and now throws it overthrown in the end zone. Incomplete pass. So the score remains 14-6. Daniel Hand leading Morgan.
Well, Cat, that shows you that Clinton does have an explosive offense. They came right out at halftime from being down 14-0, and they punched it right in. The real key here is Hand's offense has got to get the ball back and drive it right down the field.
So a long kick on the kickoff is going to be fielded about the 7-yard line. That's Sean Lynch bringing up the middle, and a good return. He's got it back up over the 35.
Well, that gives Hand some good field position, and looking at the passing from Hevesy in the first half for a good 70 yards, 6 completions out of 9 passes. If we can have the same mixture of passing and ground attack, Hand should be able to move the ball down the field.
Scott Hevesy in at quarterback, hands off to the first man, and Dorez breaks the tackle, goes across the 50. And about a 16, 17-yard gain right up the middle.
Well, I tell you, that's the way you answer that touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. What Hand has to do is get jacked up, get emotional, and get that offensive movement off the ball, open up some holes, and those backs will run through it.
Chris Dorez, the fullback. Eric Hamill, the tailback. Pitch this time to Hamill, swinging to the right, and he's got the corner, runs over a man, and gains about 4. Eric Hamill
picked up a nice block that time by Rob Mason, number 72, who was pulling and kicking out the end, which allowed Eric to cut upfield.
56, Sandy Drennan and Rob DeZima are the offensive guards. And off this time to Dorez, again up the middle, fights his way forward, and a good gain, first down.
There's nothing pretty about that. It's just in-your-face football, compliments defense of Chris Torres, just taking the ball straight ahead, right down the throat of the Clinton defense.
First down at the 37. Waller and McGrath split to the left, handed off to Mike Burrell, who is stopped short of the 35, only a yard gain. Second and 9 for Hand. The tackles for Hand are number 72, Rob Mason on one side, and Joel Donnelly on the other. Evans looking to throw, and man wide open, incomplete pass, in and out of the hands of Lynn.
Oh, that's too bad. There was good blocking on the corner. There was some penetration by the Clinton defense on the offside offensive line. Sean was wide open. Ball was thrown just a little bit behind him, but he was open. It's too bad because that would have been a first down.
Third and about 9 coming up. Ball to 36. See what number 30 is going. Evans looking to throw again, being pressured. Defender aiming for Tim Cunningham. Incomplete pass, fourth down. That play was almost intercepted. What you got on? There was 8:29 left in the third quarter. Sean Lynch, punt formation. And Morgan isn't sure that they're going to punt it. Nobody's dropped back. Lynch is going to try to punch it down near the goal line, and it's going to be into the end zone.
Lynch's punt was into the end zone for a touchback.
Tried to stop it on the one, but it rolled quickly into the end zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you have your attention, please? We have a car that needs to be moved. Another one with its lights on. Connecticut license plate 942. Once again, license plate 942. APR. The lights on. It was not
Play the Morgan and West got 8:20 left from third quarter.
357. HGK, the lights are on.
And off the tailback gets them clean to the near side of the field.
From the center for Morgan.
You know, that was good pursuit by the defense. But Rodriguez, he's a great back. He was hit at the line of scrimmage. He kept his legs pumping. He was able to pick up another 5 yards on his own, Ken.
Mike Anderson and Chris Holden on the tackle. Anderson is on the tackle.
That was a great job on the outside, coming up with a great play. That was Peter Lawler, I believe, Ken, who came up, number 82, from his quarterback position. And a good job on the defensive end, stringing it out.
Lawler made the initial contact. Chris Holden was right there. Brings up third down about 5. Oh, it's at the 25. Quarterback looking to throw right down the middle, being pursued, and gets away from one man, finally throws it downfield.
Intercepted!
It's intercepted, it looks like, if he stayed in bounds. That's Ryan Torres, number 32, intercepts the ball at the 49.
Well, there's number 2. We said that Clinton will throw the ball up for grabs. They throw a good 2 to 3 interceptions a game. They really don't care about it because that's just all part of their offensive flow of things. But it really takes the wind out of Clinton's sails and gives the ball back to Hand in Clinton territory.
The quarterback was being pressured by 2 men by Hand, and there were 2 men covering the receiver. Chris Torres breaks a tackle and loses the ball. Ball is fumbled. No signal yet.
It looks like it's Hand's ball, Ken.
Like Hand got it back. I believe
that was real heads up by, I believe, number 56.
Drennan.
Real heads up football by Eddie Drennan.
Andy Drennan recovered the ball. Chris Dorez fighting for extra yardage, got it knocked loose.
And you know, that happens so often with a back when he's fighting for extra yardage, that ball will pop out.
4-yard gain. Pitch this time to Hamill. Hamill got a good hole. Hamill got a first down to the 32, 33.
You know, Harris got some great acceleration, but again, what made that play work was the good blocking on the right side of that offensive line. There's a nice hole, and Eric was able to accelerate into the hole and make a cut to the outside and pick up the yardage.
First down. Oh, that's a 34. And up to Chris Dorez. Dorez gets a tough yards down to the 30, about a 4-yard gain. Into the game for blocking purposes is Mike Hughes. Petey as a receiver on the far side is Peter McGrath. Pitch this time to Eric Hamill, and Hamill cuts over right tackle, and he's about a yard short of a first down.
That's no play again, Ken. There was a toss right, good blocking on the right side of the line, and Eric is hitting the hole right where he's supposed to be, right where the hole is. That time he came short of the first down, but very, very close.
Backfield this time. Greg DeConcilius gets the ball and gets the first down.
That's the split backfield that we saw for the first time last week, and what that was just a quick opening, quick hitter between the guard and tackle. It's designed to hit the hole before the defensive linemen have an opportunity to read the pressure and read the flow of the offensive unit. That time, a nice hole opened up, and he was able to pick up about 4 yards.
He was running behind tight end Mike Richards and right tackle Rob Mason for the first down. And it's handed off to a good gain by Greg DeConcilius, who takes it inside the 10. First down for hand inside the 10. Another quick opening play at the 9-yard line.
And you know, again, what's making it work is the offensive line is getting a jump on the defensive line. They're getting underneath their pads, and they're able to get leverage on them and move them out.
Chris Dorez brings in a play. Eric Hamill in a tailback. 2 men split wide left. And the ball is lost by Scott Hevesy as he pulls away from center. Covers it.
I think that time Scott Hevesy was moving a little too soon. He's a little anxious to make this play. And I think he was moving away from the center before he actually had the ball, Ken.
Goal. John Lynch split wide to the left. Pitch to the right, and a flag is thrown before the play starts.
Clinton had excellent coverage that time against Cunningham and great hands. He really had to extend and stretch out. Great concentration on the ball. Super job.
Kickoff by Sean Lynch after the third touchdown by Daniel Hand. 3:31 left in the third quarter. This time he kicks it to the far sideline. It hits and bounces out of bounds at about the 23.
And that'll make him kick again from about 5 yards back. Well, you know, Kent, Hand has outscored thus far this season their opponents in the third quarter 29-13, and in the fourth quarter 28-14. So the second half has truly been Hand's half.
Taking the ball at the 35 over the penalty. Morgan will take the ball at the 35.
Oh, Morgan's going to refuse the penalty, Kent.
What the, I guess the high school rule, Jerry, as explained by the PA announcer, Paul Nichols, is that they have the option to take the ball to 35 if it gets kicked out of bounds, which they have done. So Morgan, first down at the 35, and they're going right back to their passing attack. Thrown to the right side, complete pass, and good tackle over there. Mike Unacek brings his man down. That's that wrestling move, Jerry.
That's right. Is that Mike Unacek? I thought he was number 35. Is he number 34?
34 in the home.
34. Great job by Mike Unacek. He came up real fast, Ken. Yeah, that's called a takedown move, isn't it?
That is a takedown, and he took his man down because there was nobody else there to tackle him. Complete pass, but about a 6-yard gain. We're down inside 3 minutes left, third quarter. And is now leading draw play up the middle, and the man is still on his feet. And a good gain, first down near midfield.
That's too bad because I think Chris Doris had him in the backfield. Sometimes a linebacker, when he comes up on a draw like that, if your head is down, that back can just make one move on you and get past you.
Morgan gets a first down to the 49. Looking to throw again, and being pressured in the backfield. Now he's flushed out. Quarterback running to the left. He better get rid of it. There's a man down there. Complete pass. Caught on the bounce. And tackled by Chris Dorez and Matt Gentile, the co-captains, finally make the tackle, but a good reception. That ball was knocked in the air and then caught on the second bounce.
And you know, prior to being flushed out of the pocket, that quarterback had an awful lot of time back there, Kent. Then they got to him, flushed him out, and he was able to find someone open because he had so much time.
First down at the 25. Morgan is moving the ball. We're inside of 2 minutes left in the third quarter. This time a pitch to the right, and the man is circling right in, and he's got an opening over there. Finally, he's brought down by a nice low tackle by Peter Lawler.
That 24 is holding.
Taking about 5 yards.
Well, I'll tell you, I think it was Cunningham, number 24. Cunningham came in and really took out that interference, forced Rodriguez deep, and there again, number 82, Peter Lawler came up and making the stop. Cunningham and Lawler are combining very nicely on that corner to keep Rodriguez from making a lot of yardage.
Second and 5, motion to the left, pitch to the left, and the man is trying to circle left in, and he's being surrounded, and now he cuts back and gains a few yards, finally put down by number 77 in the game, and that's Chad Davis.
Cunningham did another good job, even though he missed the tackle. He forced Rodriguez back on the inside, but there were a couple other missed tackles after he was forced inside. But Cunningham did a good job shortening the field, not letting him get to the sideline, forced him back inside into the defensive flow.
Third down and 2, and handed off right up the middle. Ball is carried to the 15, and that looks like it should be another first down.
Ball down to 15.
He got just enough for a first down. Tackle there again, Chad Davis in the bottom of the tackle.
14-yard line.
First down Morgan at the 15. And we're down to a half a minute left in the third quarter. Morgan took the man right each side of the field. And at the run to the near side of the field and being tackled by 34, that's Unacek.
That was a good job by Unacek. One of the things you want to do is stay at home. That time there was a reverse. A reverse is designed to catch the defense, moving quickly to flow, and then coming back against the flow. That time Unacek didn't move with the flow, stayed at home, played the position very well.
So that runs out the third quarter with Daniel Hand now leading 21-6 as we begin the fourth quarter with Morgan moving the ball. Morgan is moving the ball, headed for the end Kyle, but not until he gets into the end zone. A lot of blocking in front of that play, Jerry.
Hey, you know, there's still a lot of time in this game, Kent. There's 11 minutes and 52 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and this pushes Clinton to within one touchdown, and I'm sure that Clinton is going to go for the two-point conversion right now, which will put him up exactly one touchdown behind. Right now it's 21-12. What they need is this two-point conversion. If they miss this two-point conversion, they need two more scores.
So Morgan is taking the ball down and pushing it in the end zone and going for a two-point conversion try. First play of the fourth quarter, and they score. Full house, backfield, power eye to the right, and it's handed off to the right, and a man going right, and he is got the two-point conversion. Gets into the end zone.
Those are real big 2 points, because if they were able to stop him, they would have forced Clinton into 2 touchdowns. Now Clinton only has to score once.
And they've got all their good hand people up front expecting an onside kick. 2 men back deep. And he kicks it away. And hit it to the sideline out of bounds.
Out of bounds. At the hand.
Out of bounds at about the 12.
Of course, you know, the last thing Clinton wants is a big return to give Hand good field position. By looking towards that onside kick, they forced Hand into a situation where they really can't put on a return because they don't have an offensive return team.
And will take over at the 35.
Jerry, does this game remind you a little bit about last week's game against Jonathan Rock? It may come right down to the last play of the game, almost like that game did.
The real difference is the intensity level, Kent.
It looks like Chris Torres, who fights his way forward for about 3 yards, tough yards in there.
Last week, I think it was a very lethargic kind of situation, and we explained at the onset why, because of the change in Friday to Saturday night. The intensity level on both sides of this field right now is just tremendous. This is going to bring up a critical third down play, because if Hand doesn't pick up these 3.5 yards, they're going to have to punt the ball away to a Clinton team that's become very emotional. What they've got to do is pick up this first down, keep control of the ball.
42-yard line, third down and 3 for Hand. Got Hevesy pitches to Hamill. Got just enough for a first down. He crossed the 45, and he needed to get to the 45.
You're exactly right, Kent. And that was a very, very important play. And the hats go off that left offensive line, because they were the ones that secured the corner that allowed Scott Hamill to run upfield around the corner.
This time to Chris Torres. Torres gains good yardage, 8 or 9 yards.
Yeah, I think Chris Torres that time was kind of surprised. He had such a forward lean, and there was no one there because the left-hand side of the line opened up a tremendous hole, and there's just no one there.
He was ready to run over somebody, but couldn't find anybody.
Exactly. Oh, he was looking for somebody.
About 1.5 yards to go for a first down. Second and short. And up this time to the big man, Burrell, and Burrell gets a first down across the 45.
And you know, that first down could have been a tremendous gainer if Burrell could have kept his feet and cut inside. He had a lot of running room.
Burrell takes it to the 43. Mike Burrell out, Eric Hamill in, Lawler to the right, John Lance to the left.
You got a tight end who comes up.
And handed off to tailback, Eric Hamill, who takes it across the 40, gain of about 3.
Yeah, I tell you, the offensive line is doing a tremendous job, Kent, because Clinton has got an 8-man front up here. They're running a 5-3, and they're giving up the pass. And even though they're playing the run, Hand is able to gain yards on him, and it's all because of the offensive line.
Second down and 7. Handed off this time to Torres. Torres, good man. Gets to the 30-yard line he's got a first down plus 3 more. Let's mention who the linemen are in there, Jerry. I see 68, Joel Donnelly had 1 tackle. Tim Hevesy is the center, 78.
You got Mike Richards.
Mike Richards at tight end, 72. Rob Mason is at right tackle. Rob DeZima, 58, is in. And off there.
Nice cut inside by Hamill.
Good cut by Hamill, and he takes it right down to the 15.
But there's a flag on the play, Kent.
Flag down.
And that's going to be holding or clipping, I'm sure. That's a shame. Toss left, great blocking on the left line, left offensive line, and super job picking his way down the field by Eric Hamill. That's going to be a big penalty. That's holding, and that's 10 yards.
The rest of the linemen in there for hand, Rob DeZima and Andy Drennan are the 2 guards. And Joel Donnelly and Rob Mason are the tackles. Tight end on the near side of the field is Mike Richards. Pitch this time to Hamill, swinging to the left, just to the 30.
Stopped by Joe Henson.
It looked like Eric lost his footing when he was making that cut, Kent. You know, a lot of people are losing their footing. It did rain earlier. That ground must still be a little soggy out there.
So that brings it back to the original line of scrimmage. Second down now and 10. And off to Dorez. Dorez wedges his way forward to about the 25.
Good start, Jerry.
Well, they mark his forward progress very close to the 25. Here again, third down and about 6, Kent.
Third and 6 for Hannon. Outside the 25. We got 7 minutes, 20 seconds left in this ballgame. And he's clinging to a 7-point lead. Took this time to Hamill. Hamill cuts and goes forward to about the 22, but he's short of a first down.
You know, he's short of a first down, but he's only about 1.5 yards short, Kent. And I think that in this win, they're definitely not at field goal range. So Hand's gonna look to pick up about 1.5 yards right now.
On fourth down, coming up. Good fourth down here.
You know, that toss has been working so well, I would think they'd go with the toss again.
Hamill gets
Counter! It's a counter! He's going to break it!
Inside the 5-yard line, first down, goal to go for Hand.
You know, that was a great play because I think Clinton was looking for Dorez to get the ball. What it was a reverse pivot where they faked it Dorez going to the right, and then he turns around and gives it to Hamill coming back over to the left. It's a counter play. They had the flow going all the way over the other side of the defense. It was wide open.
First down for Hand. Goal to go at the 5-yard line. Full house backfield, power eye to the right. And Mike Burrell carries the ball inside the 5 down to about the 3. 4. They're going to start at about the 4.
Get up at 1. Second and goal for 4.
We're down to close to 6 minutes, 10 seconds left in this ball game. Daniel Hand inside the 5-yard line. They're leading by 7 points. Eric Hamill, tailback, and handed off to Dorez, who's met after about a yard gain.
Stacked up at the line of scrimmage by Carlos Rodriguez.
Well, they're really stacking it up front, Kent. What they've got is a better than 8-man front up there, and they're all in the gaps. So it's going to be very, very difficult to be able to gain yardage tackle to tackle.
So the ball is now back to the 4-yard line. It's third and goal at the 4. One man in the backfield. Scott Hevesy rolling right.
They're wide open, Kent.
And
oh! Great concentration!
Peter McGraw catches the ball after juggling and first down.
That was tremendous concentration on the ball by Peter McGrath. He had a defender that was holding on to him. The ball was juggled for about like an eternity, and he pulled it in. Great concentration.
That ball was kind of loose in the air there for several seconds, but Peter McGrath stays with it, catches the ball just inside the end zone to extend the lead now, 27-14, 5:21 left.
I don't know about you, Kent, but I'm having some fun up here. This is exciting.
The conversion try by Sean Lynch, and this one he hit low, but it is good. It gets across the crossbar, 28-14.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it was good. And that's a big touchdown because it puts Hand ahead by 2 touchdowns with only 5 minutes and 21 seconds left, Kent. And that's an off. That just isn't a lot of time for 2 touchdowns.
Daniel Hand extends their lead to 2 touchdowns. And Sean Lynch is set to kick off back to Morgan. Morgan has 3 men deep. Ball on the ground now. The ball's going to be nice.
Super job. Great coverage by Hand's defense, and what enabled that coverage to get under the ball was the very high kick by Sean Lynch. He's got a great leg, and he's very capable of kicking the ball deep.
He put that ball high in the air, and the strong wind blowing toward it made the man have to circle under it to catch it. First down, Morgan, near the 20. The pitch left. Man's got a little bit of room to run on the far corner. Gains 3 or 4 yards. That wasn't a pretty play, but they did gain a little yardage on it.
They did, and you know, Cunningham was almost. He was in the backfield. He made some nice penetration. He was almost close enough to be able to pick up that pitch.
That was an option play, running to the left. I don't believe we've seen the option much from Morgan.
No, that's the first time they've shown that play tonight.
And we have a break in action with a timeout by Hand with 4:34 left in this ballgame. That was the first timeout of the 4th quarter by Hand. It brings up a 2nd down and 6. Ball at the 24. Morgan back in their passing game. Now the quarterback pulls it down and is running. He hurdles 1 man, hurdles 2, and he is snowed under at about the 39. A good run, though, and a first down for Morgan.
Well, you know, he's very mobile. He doesn't like to run as much as he likes to pass with the ball. This Clinton team is very much like the East Lyme team, running the run and shoot, except that the quarterback for Clinton does not have the mobility that the East Lyme player had. And that was a nice stick by Peter Lawler. Came up and really nailed him in the numbers.
2 tackles in on the play. Chad Davis, 77, and Tim Evans, 78. The play was slowed down by Tim Cunningham and finished off by several other players. 2nd down and 7. Intercepted by Cunningham. Cunningham gets a ricochet off of the receiver, and good reaction to the ball.
That was an excellent reaction because that must have been a 1/10 of a second from the time that it hit Rodriguez's shoulder, bounced off him into Cunningham's arms. Great concentration by Cunningham.
So Cunningham gets, I believe that's the 2nd interception tonight. Ball at the 49-yard line with 3:20 left in this ball game. Daniel Hand ahead by 14 points.
And as we said at the onset, Kent, what this Clinton team will do is they'll throw 3 interceptions a game.
And Chris Torres running for yardage. Carries the man with him for 2 yards.
And I'll tell you what, that interception by Cunningham has sealed this game because with 3 minutes left and with Hand running the clock out, I don't see how Clinton can come back and score twice. it depends where they mark that ball, Kent, but it looks like they're less than a yard away from that first down.
So the ball is placed at about the 39.
And I'll tell you, with only 2 minutes on the clock, if Hand can get this first down, it'll seal the game completely. Even if they don't, what it'll do is it'll enable them to run some more time off the clock. So I don't think they're going to punt it away. I think they're going to run the ball.
Bring out the chain.
And I'll tell you what, that offensive line of Hand has been moving them out. I really think that they're going to run the ball right down the throat and pick up the first down. Clinton's called a timeout.
Morgan has burned their second timeout, so we have 2:18 left on the clock. Fourth down and less than a yard. Daniel Hand will go for it at the 39-yard line.
And they've got everybody uptight. I'll tell you, if they just slip the ball past that front 11, it's gone.
Chris Dorad pulls his way forward. First down.
He's got a first down. I'll tell you, Kent, that would have been a touchdown. They had 11 men on the line of scrimmage. All they had to do was take one step back, throw the ball, and that would have been a touchdown.
Leading the blocking on that were Rob DeSima and Tim Havansey. Wedged forward, and Chris Dorad picks up the first down. Now the clock can run. We're down to about 2 minutes left in this game.
Now, that's a real tribute to the offensive line when you have 11 men on the line and you can move them out with a surge.
Mike Burrell carries the ball, and a defensive man for Morgan makes a tackle on the ball, but doesn't get it. That was a good job by Burrell hanging on to that ball, because the tackler was not tackling him, he was tackling the ball. And now this time to Greg DeConsilius, he crosses the 35, puts back.
Well, Ken, we're coming down to 1 minute. It's 1 minute and 13 seconds right now. With Hand ahead by 2 touchdowns, they're just going to run out the clock.
Well, now at the 34, and there we hit the 1 minute mark. Third down and 7. Pitch this time to Gregan. Gregan Hamill. Hamill takes it to the 30. He's still about 3 yards short of a first down, but they don't care too much about the clock run.
I'll tell you, Ken, this is a real tribute to these kids. You know, they had 2 key players that were injured. We wish them well, but there were 2 key players that were injured. These young kids are filling in for these injured players. The coaching staff had to scramble this week to make a lot of adjustments. What we've seen is a whole new look by this offensive team, and they've really they didn't come in here with their tail between their legs. They came in here and they're just doing the job. Tremendous job offensively and defensively, coming off of the poor showing against Law and with the 2 key injuries.
Morgan. Daniel Hand has a 4th down and 2 just inside the 30-yard line, and Scott Hevis is going to keep the ball and eat it. That will give the ball back to Morgan, but the clock is down to 36 seconds.
And Hand really should be proud of their performance tonight, Kent. As you were saying earlier, they were truly, I think, the underdogs tonight. Clinton being a much improved team, Hand being beaten up with some injuries. They've really taken it to Clinton tonight.
So half a minute left, and Morgan looking to throw the ball deep, and now his man winds up and throws it deep. Incomplete pass down inside the 40, and Hand had 7 men back, 4 men rushing the quarterback, and the clock goes to 22 seconds left in the ball game. 2nd and 10 for Morgan.
Well, you're right, Kent. Hand's defense is going to give Morgan a lot of cushion. What they're going to do is give up the small plays underneath the coverage, but they're not going to give up the big play, the deep play.
And Morgan has no more timeouts. They're looking to throw again, just laying it up high, and that may be picked off. It is intercepted by Ryan Dorez, number 32, down at about the 37-yard line, which will seal it for Hand, and that's his second interception of this game.
That's his second interception, and that's the fourth interception of the game.
Cunningham has two, Ryan Dorez has two. So all Hand needs to do is kneel down one time and let the clock run out, and we'll get their fifth victory of the year. You know who they play next week, Gary?
Yes, I do. Just bear with me in all this wind. Next week, we will also be at home against Bunnell. The following week will be away, Notre Dame of Fairfield, November 6th, which will be a tremendous game. Notre Dame of West Haven, ranked #1 in the state, will be here at Strongfield. The 14th of November will be Stratford away, and then we'll finish up the season against Guilford Thanksgiving Day.
Daniel Hand plays a very good game to win their fifth straight game. Gary, they may show up in the state rankings before long if they can keep winning.
I believe you're right, and that truly is a tribute to this team and the coaching staff. Because